Yes, hello, welcome to your midweek pick-me-up. We're here to entertain you, so let's settle in.
Yes. Irish rock band Aslan are here telling us about an inspirational musical project that they're involved in. And they're promising a performance too. We're so lucky.
Of one of my all-time favourite songs by anybody.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
A tune with a capital CH.
Yes. We are meeting an author who's taking slices of ordinary life and nostalgia and spinning them into witty literary gold. Michelle Gallen is here with you later.
Plus, she's a hit maker and a hip shaker. Erica-Cody is here and filling us in on her return to the main stage a little bit later on.
And we're looking forward to a happy kitchen tonight because the boys are back in town. The Happy Pear are bringing the perfect rainbow salad sides to their barbecue feast treats. And that's happening a little later too.
As always, we love hearing from you at home, so here's a quick reminder of how to reach us.
You can send us a message for free on WhatsApp to 083 360 6060. You can pop us an email to 6@virginmedia.ie.
And find 6 o'clock show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram using the hashtag 6VMTV.
Denying that it's a crazy world at the moment, especially for the victims of the ongoing war in Ukraine.
Now, rock band Aslan have recorded a new version of their hit single, This Is, which will not only raise money for vital aid, but has also helped bring together a very special choir.
To tell us more, please welcome Aslan's Christy Dignam, Billy McGuinness, Alan Downey and Joe Jewell. Good to see you, boys.
Thanks very much.
Pleasure to have you.
Listen, congratulations, firstly, are in order because This Is, for Ukraine, released today and has gone to #1 on iTunes.
Know that.
Yeah.
Somebody tell me these things. That's great, yeah.
But it is, because you've had #1 albums, but a #1 single.
Yeah, that's the first single, yeah. That's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, did you not know? I thought you knew, yeah. We're doing a Kate Bush. It only took 34 years to get to #1.
Well, hang on, she's been running up the hill just as long.
She's 39 years.
39 years. Well, come here, does that give you a lift, Chrissy? Like, how are you today?
I'm not great today, but that's after giving me a bit of a buzz, yeah, of course. It's amazing, because, you know, when we set out to do this initially, we were kind of a bit afraid that people might think we were kind of cashing in on the misery of the Ukrainian thing, and we didn't want to do that. So I was talking to the head of the Red Cross, the Irish Red Cross, and he was saying, look, if you do nothing, nothing will happen, you know. So I just thought, well, if you get a bit of negative press, it's worth it. Now, even if it doesn't, I was saying earlier, even if it hadn't raised a penny, Martin, just, we took their minds off them, you know, the horror of their lives for a few days. And, you know, even for if we just achieved that, was worthwhile. It was an amazing experience. Very humbling, you know.
Absolutely. And the fact that it's #1 on iTunes means that people are buying it, and there's money going to the cause.
That's great, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's all for the Red Cross.
It's mad the way it came about, because we were on the Late Late Show, and we were to do a 40th celebration. We were going to bring on guests and do a couple of songs and all that. And suddenly the war happened in Ukraine, and the Late Late rang us and said, look, we're shelving the Aslan 40th anniversary. We're going to do the show for Ukraine. And we said, can we still be involved in it? And they said yes. So they opened the show with all the footage of the atrocities that was going on in the Ukraine. But we were playing This Is, but you couldn't see that we were playing it. You could just hear the music. And everyone was saying how powerful and how emotional the song was with the footage coming from Ukraine. And that's what sparked us then to contact the Red Cross and see. Now, we kind of knew that, you know, the refugees here, they wouldn't really be in the form for singing. Their families are over there. Their houses are blown up.
They've never sang before.
They never sang together. They never met each other.
Because you never sang before, Martin. So you're a singer, you know the rules. So you stay within certain parameters, you know. And because they didn't have any parameters, we said it'll either be crap or it'll be really good. And it was really good. Because they have that, you know, that Irish, that kind of musicality. Yeah. You have that about them, you know. So it was amazing. It was really magical, the whole thing.
Yeah, it was great, yeah. And just to see at the end, when it was done and it was recorded, just to see the joy on their faces. And you'll see it in the documentary tonight, where they're all hugging and they're happy. And as Christy said, like, you know, all the while we were rehearsing in Vicar Street with them, we went to the Ukrainian centre, and they were taken away from their hotels and they were out with Aslan for the day, which was great.
It also integrated them into a bit of Irish society. Yeah. And also another aim for the whole thing was, you know, when you're looking at news all the time, you kind of get desensitised to the whole thing. You kind of switch off. You're going to kind of... So we thought this would bring a different angle. And it might you know, show more people. Because it's not the bombs falling on your head, tragedy. It's just the normal stuff. We were talking to one woman and she bought a packet of, we say, Ukrainian cornflakes or some cereal, just to give her kids when they felt bad, you know, over here. Right. Little things like that. Another girl, 19, she came across just a pair of pants and a blouse. That was it. That's all she had. And so I remember thinking, imagine me getting my family, going to the Ukraine, not speaking the language, no money, just the clothes I'm standing in. That's tough, you know.
Yeah, and exactly as you said, like, obviously it's such a big story and it can be very hard to, like, stay tuned into it because it is so hard and it's so tough to listen to.
Desensitized.
Yeah.
And we can't,
we are very aware, Martin, that there's over 10,000 Irish homelessness as well. But that's no reason not to help the Ukrainian people. And I think if you look back on the Irish history, when the Irish were emigrants, do you know what I mean? I think what we're doing for Ukraine at the moment will really stand good for us when the war is over and they go back home.
We were under imperial occupation for a long time. So it's in our DNA. So I think that's why it resonates with us, I think, a little bit more. Plus, when Live Aid was on, we gave more money per capita than any other nation on earth.
But they reckon that everybody in Ireland gave £1.
Yeah, we're very good at stuff like that. We're a great nation, you know. Yeah. It's just the politicians are bad, but everybody else is great.
We're very generous people.
Christy for president!
Let's start the campaign here. The song was obviously a hit 34 years ago and, like, resonated then, resonates now. Very emotional lyrics. But, Christy, what was it about, like, when you first wrote it? Where did the song come from?
Right, so... When we were starting off, people were saying to us all the time, listen, we want to get to the next level, you have to release a single. And they were saying, release this song and that song. And we knew we hadn't written our first single because we knew it was going to be there forever, you know, our first single. So when we wrote this, we kind of knew we'd written something decent. So the beginning of These Are the Hands of a Tired Man, that was my dad's hands. They were kind of calloused and hard from working. This Is Your Man's Shroud was his life kind of thing. And then at that time, the Catholic Church were losing their grip in Ireland, you know, and that's about the teenage mother, all that. Because before then, you were sent to the mother and baby homes, you know. So we were just beginning to accept all that stuff. So the whole thing, Ireland was changing at the time, and that's what it did. And then the chorus, everybody hit you, everybody knocks you, was just that Irish kind of begrudgery thing that we have sometimes, where we knock around, because we'd be going to rehearsals. We used to have a shopping trolley with a gear and go on, yes, ticks, you'll never be all this, you know. So you kind of had that begrudge, you're fighting against that begrudging attitude, but it just made us stronger. Yeah,
but you know what's really interesting? 2 weeks ago, we did a gig with Jerry Cinnamon in Malahide Castle, and we went out and we done This Is, and like there was a crowd, like there were 17, 18, 19-year-olds. They weren't just singing the chorus, they were singing the actual verses for a song that's 34 years old. How can 18 and 19-year-olds still know every word? As well as I'm singing crazy word and that. Well, it's just, it's good music. Good music doesn't die.
No, it's funny. It's funny. My son got married last Friday, right? And there were people of all generations there. And, like, my kids, like, and some of my nieces and nephews, and they're from 15, 16 up. Yeah. And they were singing songs from the 80s, the 90s.
A lot of the kids today are liking that older stuff. My grandson's the same.
Yeah, but it's funny. But somebody said, how do you know these songs? And my nephew said, we're from the north side. It's called house parties. We're listening to our parents singing those songs.
You know, we did a gig in Baker Street last Christmas, right? So, as Billy was saying, so you look at the front row, the 15, 16, 18-year-olds, and everything in between. And then I got a note on stage to sing Happy Birthday to a woman on her 80th birthday. Yeah. So from 80 to 15, like, that's amazing.
Does that give you a lift, Joe?
Yeah. It's just... Like music, as you know, is a you know, the international language, you know, and if it's appealing to kids and their, you know, generations, 2 or 3 generations, in the same way we used to listen to, you know, rock and roll, even though we weren't around, we still listen to it, you know what I mean? So, of course, it's brilliant, like, you know, music.
Yeah, we try not to analyse that way. People kind of through the ages have liked us because we're afraid to analyse it. We're just happy that it is the case, you know.
That's the way it is. I remember watching you guys, Alan, in the Old Point. And I said it to you last time you were here. I remember looking, and I was actually crying happy tears because I thought, this is where these boys deserve to be. Yeah. You're making your return to the Three Arena.
We're going back.
In September.
17th of September. We're really looking forward. It's a good few years since we played there, so can't wait.
And
I think when we did it, like, it was we probably put about 9,000, 10,000 in. Now I think it's 14, 15,000. Yeah. Oh. So it's going to be some night, 17th of September.
It's more of a celebration for the people who've supported us over the years, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because we'd normally be doing the Ivy Gardens or something at this time of the year, but we wanted to do something different, so that's...
And well, we can't wait. 17th.
I know,
we're looking forward to a big television event tonight, 9 o'clock.
Yes.
9 o'clock, This is for Ukraine.
We still haven't seen it, and I haven't even heard the song yet. I want to wait till the documentary to hear it, to finish the song with the Ukrainian chorus, so I'm going to watch the whole thing on Virgin tonight.
We're going to let you guys go out and relax.
Cool.
Especially let you put your feet up, but you're going to give us a performance of This Is.
Yes.
To finish out the show, so thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Martin.
Thanks for having us on. Thank you.
And congrats on the day you hit number 1.
Yes! Only took us, what is it? Only took us 40 years.
Aslan, everybody. Up next this evening from the ballroom floor, yes, because Billy knows her well, the main stage, singer Erica-Cody tells us about her brand new venture.
Yes, we'll see you back here very soon.
Yes, welcome back to the show. Now, she's gone from posting covers on YouTube to becoming one of Ireland's top pop R&B artists.
Yes, and she's also flaunted her dance skills on this year's Dancing with the Stars and is now championing emerging Irish talent in her brand new TV show.
Is there anything she can't do?
She is flat.
I'm going to ask her, can she do a service on my car? Just to find out. Please welcome Erica-Cody back to the show.
So great to have you. Obviously, Billy was just on and you both competed on Dancing with the Stars this year.
Billy.
One of you did a little bit better than the other. It's not competition. It's not competition, you know.
It's not about that.
Don't be knocking Billy.
It's all about taking part. But I have to ask, especially with these, these reality TV competitions, and I know you have such a passion for dance.
Yeah.
Did you go in, eyes on the prize, you wanted that glitter ball trophy, or were you all about, it's all about the experience?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I'm naturally very competitive by heart. I used to play sports. I've played sports pretty much my whole life, and I think I naturally kind of brought that into my music careers, whereas, you're only as good as your last game, you're only as good as your last single or your last album or whatever. So when it came to Dancing with the Stars, I was like, do you know what? This is one thing I'm actually just going to let myself enjoy, because before COVID, the word I hate mentioning, it was just everything was on a roll. We're going from one gig to the next, and then all of a sudden it all stopped. And it was like, do you know what? I need to just enjoy whatever experiences are coming my way. And this was one that I really wanted to soak up, learn how to dance for 18 weeks with a pro dancer. It doesn't happen every single day. So, and it's something that I want to incorporate into my own career. So yeah.
You formed quite a partnership with your dance partner, Dennis.
My Dennis. I know.
He's from the Ukraine.
He is.
I can only imagine how intense it became when the war broke out.
Oh, 100%.
And we saw his emotion. We saw your emotion on that particular night, the Sunday after the war broke out. Was there ever a time when you thought, we're not going to make it to the dance floor?
Yeah, and I said it to him. I said, Dennis, he's been my rock, and then I'd obviously been his rock. You really go on this journey together, and it's very hard to explain unless you go through it. And I think that's why everyone who does the show, you just get kind of bonded together for life. So it was just one of those things. I was like, look, I completely understand. It's a really difficult situation if your family at home. The end of the day, it's a TV show. You come first in your family. Yeah, priorities are kind of set in stone. And I just said to him, look, if you have to do that, by all means, go ahead and do it. And he was like, look, I can't go home.
He did make contact with his family, who said,
oh, yeah,
doing 100%.
The show. Yeah, and his mum was like, please don't come back, because that would have been he would have been straight back into the army. It's a very difficult, it's a double-edged sword, you don't really know how to navigate something like that. It's living through our first war, do you know what I mean? It's pretty intense. But at the end of the day, I was his best friend. He's still my best friend. And you don't understand until you really go through it. You're spending all this time with somebody who's brand new in your life. And yeah, it's just, you're spending a lot of time away from home and your dogs. And, it's tough going.
And they're going through that experience as well.
Yeah.
So, obviously you're going to bounce off one another.
It affects everybody that's involved, whether it's your partners or your parents or anything. So
for sure,
it's very intense.
For sure,
he's doing good now, thank God.
On Dancing with the Stars, and I suppose beyond, you've always been someone who has spoken really openly about the importance of diversity, inclusion, representation.
Oh, 100%.
And you've said about wanting to be that person on TV that you didn't have to look up to. And I remember watching you throughout the Dancing with the Stars journey and seeing little kids dancing along to you on the TV and just their parents, just to have that representation, that person there. Madness. What was that like? That reaction? And did you get a big reaction as a result?
Well, yeah, huge, first of all. And, secondly, for me, it was a really big full circle moment because, I grew up watching Samantha Mumba on TV. She was the only other black Irish woman that was doing something that I wanted to do. And it was the only way that other people could make sense of me wanting to be a pop star or a singer or whatever. And I think, you know, if you see it, you believe it. And I think being able to be that person for so many other kids of colour, especially young black and brown kids, was huge. And I think it all kind of came out with Princess and the Frog. That was like a huge deal for me. And then obviously, you know, being the second black Irish woman to have their own show on a primetime television, like, it's insane. It's mad. I'm still wrapping my head around it. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
It's mad. And there's the likes of Loa who opened that door. You know, she had her to Saturday Night Live last summer. So to be kind of... That door is open, you know, and it should definitely be...
And you've kicked it to make sure that it's off its hinges
well, that's
and not getting closed again.
That's it.
Tell us about the main stage, because you're co-hosting with Danny O'Reilly from the Coronas. So what are the two of you getting up to?
Oh, we're getting up to lots.
Divilment.
Now, there is lots of divilment, I have to say. I said to him and Roisin, I said, I'm sorry, but you've basically got another sister that you probably didn't want. But anyway, I'm here. No, we're just having the best crack. We wanted the show to just be... crack and kill, and that's exactly what we're bringing to the table. And, you know, we have so many amazing established Irish acts that we were like, we have to put them on, but also, like, give that platform to all these incredible emerging acts that are coming through as well. And I think that's where me and Danny work really well together. You know, we couldn't have asked for a better lineup for our first season. You know, we were kind of just like, we could fill about 5 series with, like, the amount of talent that we have. Which is a good problem to have, but you know, it's really important to also, you know, showcase that, like, look what has kind of put its stamp on Irish music, and but what's also coming through.
Because there's a very, very healthy R&B and hip hop.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
absolutely. It sounds like a Jules Holland type of show. So bearing in mind that you perform, Danny O'Reilly is a performer.
Yeah.
Were you, or have you been tempted to jump in with some of the acts?
Sing along. You know, there's lots of surprises and duets coming.
Oh, cool.
You know, keep the people on the toes. Yeah, there's lots of lovely duets coming up on the show, lots of lovely collaborations, and the right collaborations. I think that's one thing we were really kind of, that we cherished, is like, we don't want to just do something for the sake of doing it. Like, it has to have a meaning and it has to be special, and we're doing something so special, we wanted to, you know, have a real purpose, and that's exactly what we've done. I'm just so excited for people to see it. You know, it's very rarely that we get Irish music shows on television, and to have it in a primetime slot taken over from the likes of the Late Late, like, there's no pressure at all. But it's amazing, you know, everyone comes in and they do exactly what they want to do. They have their own setup, and it's just great music, great live music. Everyone comes on, sings live.
What more could you want?
What more could you want? It's like, we've had like 2.5 years of being cooped up and watching online gigs and doing all that kind of stuff. So I think, you know, Friday night, we've definitely got that. We're catering to everyone across the board, you know?
Yep. You didn't have a show like this starting out. What you did have was YouTube and the emergence of social media, and you loved posting a few little cheeky covers there.
Cheeky covers.
So many of the pop greats in the past, like Justin Bieber, like the list goes on. Were you hoping to get discovered by doing that, or what was the motivation there?
Of course, like, this was in the Justin Bieber where he was like my flashbox on Bebo, do you know what I mean? Singing with you. So, like, it was a big deal at the time, YouTube. And I think that's when any, like, aspiring young singer, songwriter, producer, or whatever wanted to kind of get their voice out there. I was just one of those kids. I was really determined. I really wanted to just do anything when it came to, you know, get my name out there at music, and I'd take any gig I was given. You know, I wasn't precious. And yeah, YouTube was kind of a safe haven for me in a way, and it really helped me with my confidence. You know, I'd been shy. I always did music, but when it came to actually putting something on YouTube and getting yourself prepared for other people's opinions, I think it actually kind of helped me grow a little thick skin. But luckily, it wasn't really in the age of, you know, it wasn't too much badness there. If anyone had anything to say, they'd tell me to my face and still, which was grand, you know, kept me humble as well.
Absolutely. And there's nothing like Irish people to keep you humble.
There's nothing like Irish people to keep you humble.
Anyway, you've gone from YouTube and home videos to the main stage. We're going to talk some more because you're hanging on for dinner.
Hanging on for dinner. I love dinner. I tell the lads I'm a big foodie. Can't wait.
All right, so they're giving you an extra helping. All right. Up next, Irish author Michelle Gallen is bringing us back to the summer of '94 with her fiercely funny new book.
That's on the way right after the break. Welcome back. Now, if the ending of Channel 4's hit series Derry Girls left a hole in your heart, our next guest's brand new book will fill that gap with nostalgia and wit.
Yes, she's an award-winning author who counts Roddy Doyle as a fan. No biggie.
No pressure.
No.
No pressure.
Please welcome Michelle Gallen to the show. All right, Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
Your brand new book, Factory Girls, is out now. Congratulations. A little birdie told me that the launch party was last night, though. How are the feet? Are they sore?
The feet, the thighs, the everything. Even a bit of a sore throat going on this morning, you know, so...
So there was singing as well as dancing?
Oh, Lord, there was singing, there was dancing, there was cake, there was sparklers. We had sparklers.
Not the sparklers, oh my God.
We had the sparklers out.
Well, you were remembering 1994. There was a lot of great music.
We were really feeling 1994, so we had to have Riverdance. We were also having Love Is All Around. I have to admit there was a bit of Bonnie Tyler as well now, because, you know, we just had to get a bit of Bonnie going.
You're saying that like it's a bad thing. That's my ideal party, to be honest.
It's just it wasn't 94, you see. But you were doing your Wigfield.
I tried to do my Wigfield. So basically what we had was a load of D8 mummies who maybe, you know, we don't get out as often as we want to. Somebody put Wigfield on, my brother, and everybody just filled the dance floor and everybody was doing the dance and I was out there in the middle trying to get going, but no. I had to scoot off to the side and just watch everybody doing their Wigfield. Very good.
Saturday night and a Tuesday night.
There you go. I love it. I love your style. We mentioned Roddy Doyle is a huge fan of the book and it's getting rave reviews. Tell us a little bit more about it for anyone who's not familiar. Elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch. So Factory Girls is a story about 3 school leavers that just left. They're waiting to get their exam results to see are they going to get out of the wee town, sort of dead end town they're growing up in. But they're sitting there and they're not going to waste their summer. They take a wee job in a shirt factory. They're going to try and earn some money, but it kind of doesn't go the way that they're expecting it to go. So it's a kind of interesting, messy kind of a summer for them, and they're challenged in ways they really, really weren't prepared for. But it is really fiercely funny. It is very darkly funny. So
okay. Well, it's based in '94, as we said. So we had like the troubles were still going on. The Ireland were playing in the World Cup in the USA, and there was an IRA ceasefire as well.
There was.
What was it like revisiting that time?
So this was quite interesting for me because, like, I'd actually done my first year in Trinity, and then I went back home for the summer of '94. I couldn't even get a job in a shirt factory. I had nothing. So I was knocking around at home the whole of the summer of '94, and that was kind of wearing up to the ceasefire. But you know, like, having lived through that, we weren't at all really hopeful. Nobody was kind of sitting there thinking that's what was going to happen. And you talk about the World Cup, but that was also the time we had the Loughlin Island massacre. So you had this really strange summer where in one Britpop was kind of coming at you from over the water. You had Riverdance down south, just that incredible feeling. Ireland won the Eurovision again, if you remember that. And you had the Channel Tunnel opening up. Do you remember, like, where suddenly you could drive from England over to France? Everything was really exciting. And in the north, I still felt we were banging the same wee drums a bit.
Yeah.
You know?
You drew on your own experiences working in a shirt factory for the book, and I suppose if you were to say it to kind of maybe anyone else, like, I'm sure they'd be like, that doesn't really seem like a very inspiring place in some ways. What was it about it that, you know, stuck with you when it came to writing this?
So I worked the summer of '95 in a shirt factory and in the small town that I grew up in, which was a very segregated town. So you had separate schools and, of course, separate churches, but also separate shops, separate social lives, essentially. And I was kind of really fascinated that you might grow up in this town, really small town, with these people that you might have seen in the street but never spoken to, suddenly thrown in a shirt factory and you had to work with them. You couldn't make a shirt like this one here, or you couldn't make that without everybody working together. So
it's teamwork.
It is teamwork. And the really interesting thing about that is that we all had to put our differences aside to manufacture the shirts, to get the money we needed to do the things we had to do.
It is fascinating, all right. You worked at the factory during that summer, while, like you said, college, '95. A few years later, though, at the age of 23, you developed encephalitis.
So I was living my best life, you know. I had got out of my wee town. I had left Trinity. I was over working in Regent Street in London as a copywriter, and I was just living the dream. And over a period of about 6 weeks, like, kind of my cognitive function just started declining, like, to the point where I couldn't sign my name. I remember the day when I couldn't sign my name and thinking there's something really badly wrong.
You say you couldn't sign your name?
Couldn't sign my name.
Your hand wouldn't,
I sat there. My hand wouldn't write my name. I knew what my name was in my head, but I couldn't make my hand write my name. And by the time I got to a hospital, I didn't know my second name. So they kept saying, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Michelle."
It's so scary.
Yeah, I know. It was really, really intense.
Yeah. So they were the first kind of symptoms that you were noticing, and you were like, okay, something's not right
wrong.
here.
And all I thought, I'm just going to keep going, one foot in front of the other. And it was literally, I literally had to collapse before I got medical attention, And even then, I remember really clearly telling everyone, you're not calling my mommy and daddy because I don't want them to worry. And instead, I thought it was a much better idea if I just, got a flight back to Dublin and my poor daddy picked me up in a wheelchair.
Oh my God, what a time. And at that age.
Yeah.
Do you still experience symptoms? Or
I still have neurological deficits. I mean, I have really weird ones like prosopagnosia. I'm face blind, so I can be introduced to somebody. 5 minutes later, they're going to come back in the room, and there's a brand new person to me.
Yeah.
I may remember the name, or I may remember the name and the face and what they've done, but I can introduce myself again to somebody after 5 minutes. Or I have another one, which is worse, hyperfamiliarity, where I go, oh my God, Josephine, I haven't seen you in 10 years. How are you? And I'm chatting to some poor stranger on the bus who's like, and they're nice to you and all, but it's clearly not Josephine. Things like seizures and migraines and different things like that. There are a lot of things that I'll never get back. Like I had a photographic memory at one point.
Okay, great for exams.
Brilliant for exams. Yeah. Well, it's a bit of a hit and miss, right? Because if you're sitting in an exam and you can recall just like pages and pages and pages of text, you're kind of sitting there going, but how do I condense everything that I got in my brain into a few pages in a couple of hours? So that was always my challenge. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is kind of crazy, all right. But here you are.
I am here.
To go from not being able to write your name to write a book, it's getting rave reviews. Like,
2 of them.
Yeah. Second one, yeah. So with the first one, though, I was so scared that I would not have the memory to actually write a book because I'd gone back to writing short stories. I was so scared I could not write the first book. When I got the idea for a book, I took 1 month off my job in the BBC in Northern Ireland, and I sat and I wrote 70,000 words in a month because I was like, can't stop. I just have to get this out. So, this one took a wee bit longer now to get this one out, but it more confidence, I suppose, here. And I really enjoyed kind of going back into the positive side of 1994. There was a darker side to it too, though, you know.
Worth the wait.
Touch on that,
yep.
but with great humour as well. It's dealt with so well. It's called The Factory Girls. It's out now, and we wish you the very best of luck with it, Michelle.
Yes,
and thanks so much for taking your dancing feet and your sore throat down to see us today.
These tired feet. Get home to bed. I will. Thank you so much.
Michelle Gallen, everyone.
We are in the kitchen next, where the Happy Pear are treating us to a rainbow roasted cauliflower salad.
And Aslan are ready with a very special performance. Stay with us for that. It's coming up after.
Welcome back. Dinner time now, and the Happy Pear duo are ready to up our BBQ game. Take it away, lads. What do we make?
Okay, first step, we're going to make a rainbow cauliflower salad. Right, cauliflower.
Jeez, you're straight in there.
Well, I know in 7.5 minutes, so it's got to be punchy. Cauliflower, most people don't know how to cook it, but by roasting it, you unlock the caramelization and bring more flavour. We're going to up the ante and increase the antioxidant power. Okay. So we got 4 tablespoons.
What is an antioxidant? Can anyone tell me for a prize? What is an antioxidant?
What's the prize?
It's really good for you.
It's really good for you, yes. Are you going to build on that, Martin?
As Erica said, really, really good for you.
No, I did not come to go to school today.
Like, think of oxidation, of course, oxidation, antioxidant stops you rusting. So it's very good for your skin, for premature aging or anything like that.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So into the cauliflower, I have put a little bit of water, 2 teaspoons of turmeric and a little bit of oil. I've preheated the oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Just for the sake of TV, let's just pretend I've just chopped an aubergine. I've just chopped a leek. Make sure to use the green of the leek, because that's where the most amount of nutrition is, and just give it a good rinse, because there's lots of kind of sediment often hides in there. Okay, so we're going over to the oven.
And drinking on it.
Yeah, exactly. Drinking.
So
this is a beautiful salad. This is a really, really nice salad.
And here's ones we prepared earlier.
So it went into the oven for how long?
About 20 to 25 minutes.
So there's leeks. So the 2 leeks. There was the whole head of cauliflower and aubergine as well.
So we're going to start to assemble it here. So into our bowl here we have our yellow cauliflower. We've got our
and in terms of antioxidants, so the turmeric is super high in antioxidants, visible by the bright yellow colour.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, aubergine. Many people don't know how to cook an aubergine. Aubergine is soft, succulent, and incredibly delicious when it's baked properly. So don't underbake an aubergine. Top tip.
There you go.
Beautiful. Yeah, a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil.
Yeah, you really want to cook it until it's really soft and melt in your mouth. Like, it can take lots of oil and tamari.
or soy sauce. Okay, so here we have a pomegranate.
Good
How
listening,
to
good
shuck
listening
a
here.
pomegranate.
I find it impossible
Okay, yeah, many people like have lots of different approaches. So hold it up where the little crown faces the ceiling. Cut across the centre.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a bowl, hold your hand up here, take a back of a spoon, and take your stress out. And out it pops.
Who are you thinking of right now?
Just David, his brother. So there we go. So very easy to shuck, very quick. They call it shucking a pomegranate. And just take out any of the little white pectin because that's slightly bitter.
Yeah, they don't taste great now.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So into our salad. So back to this, I have 100 grams of couscous. Try to use wholemeal couscous because it's higher in fibre. And you know we love fibre, Mark.
Can anyone tell me what couscous?
This is like school.
Listen.
It's a grain.
It's a grain. Okay. Any other takers? Couscous. What would couscous be?
Absorbs
I love it. You're
water.
into there.
What
It's
is
a
it?
grain. Yeah. What is it? Where does it come from? Wheat.
Other than the shop.
The ground.
Greece.
No, it's a wheat. It's wheat.
Okay.
It's a grain, yeah. It's a wheat base, so that's why if anyone's celiac, couscous, don't use couscous, use quinoa or one of those. Okay, so there's our salad looking great. I'm going to make a quick dressing before I bring it together. Look at the colours.
So now, you didn't tell us what the green things
So
were.
I put a little bit of peas in it. Again, bringing different colour, different diversity. Good for our microbiome, where 70% of our immune system exists.
Microbiome, now.
Now, time to make our dressing, just to finish it. So I've got the juice of 2 oranges. That's 2 little baby oranges. 4 tablespoons of tahini. So if you don't know what tahini is, it's ground up sesame seed paste.
I love tahini.
If you know tahini, you could use peanut butter. That'll do fine. Pinch of salt, pinch of black pepper, and a little bit of maple syrup.
Beautiful.
There we are. Sweet. Take our little whisk and bring it together. It'll end up like a little emulsion. So it'll come together into this kind of creamy dressing. And typically we'll just pop it over the top and voila.
Just like that.
Simple as that.
Do you mind passing over that plate there? Because it's beautiful served. This is a really visually beautiful salad. It's really nice. It'd go great for barbecue season. Any people that, like, it's barbecue season at the moment. This would be really well. People would think you're great for making that.
There you go.
Now, you see, I wouldn't need anything other than that. That looks brilliant.
Oh, it's beautiful, really, really nice.
Doesn't it look fab?
We get the pomegranate to the top.
The colours, the contrast of colours is really good. And then you've got the fat coming from the tahini and whatnot, so it's very tasty.
Just put the dressing just a little.
Oh, yeah.
Voila.
Never have too much
Ladies and
dressing.
gentlemen, we have a rainbow turmeric cauliflower salad.
Delicious.
Okay. Time-wise,
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, so as I said, barbecue season, super important. We've got some great burgers and we've got sausages all in super value. Really good. All plant-based because obviously there's more and more people eating plant-based. These are high in fibre, made from whole food ingredients. So
what's a whole food?
Well, let's ask the team here.
Oh, here we go again.
Okay.
The leaving cert finished yesterday. What's going on, lads?
Okay, they're made with real food. So our burgers are made with sweet potato and butternut squash. Our sausages made with mushrooms and sweet potatoes as well. We've got they're all made with whole foods, which you'll understand what they are in the name of the back.
Okay, so how do you plate it up?
Okay, so here we go. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Mr. Flynn. Okay, do you want to play too? Does anyone want to play too?
Oh, absolutely.
Make a
Come on,
burger.
come play.
Let's
Come
not
on,
never
we've got
skimp.
dips.
Never skimp when it comes
So
to
I've heated all the burgers.
Show.
Simply, all these burgers, like they're really, really tasty. As I said, made with whole foods. They take 5 minutes to heat up in a barbecue or a grill or whatnot.
Yeah.
And obviously serve them with your regular kind of dips and condiments. So I'm going to make up a little sausage. So this is
Do you want to come on?
a caramelized red onion sausage. Really is with.
Okay, I like a little bit of mayonnaise. This is a
Yeah, what would
vegan
you
mayo.
have?
Yeah.
I'm like
This is a vegan mayo. Which
mayo
is,
ketchup,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is really nice.
I'm definitely
go
going
with-
lettuce.
I'm going to go with this beet burger. I think it's really, really nice.
I'm going with a bit of ketchup.
Wait, can I ask?
Yeah.
Is this a silly question? Do you have to cook them?
Yes.
Because you do have to cook them.
All the ingredients are cooked, but you definitely do want to heat them up.
Okay.
So you do want to cook them.
And then you
Nice.
get nice kind of griddle lines,
Okay,
which
Mike.
just add more caramelization, a little bit more flavour to it. And I think with burgers, it's all about condiments. So I think having pickles, like, are you a pickle lover?
Oh, yeah. I love
I
pickles.
love a good pickle.
Pickles were like a lockdown discovery for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
God, I love
just eating jars of pickles. That's how bored we were getting. I was like,
It's something like I
delicious.
think as we get older, you like them. As kids,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
gherkins.
Yeah, sorry, to clarify, I knew pickles existed before the lockdown, but I just didn't eat them before the lockdown.
So there's one there.
Okay, voila.
I'm going to do one of our.
Oh my
Martin, are you
goodness.
more
What do you want, Martin? You take
No,
your
you
pick
go
now.
ahead.
Excuse my
Go ahead,
hands.
you're our
So I
guest.
think pestos are super important on a burger as well. Any form of pesto or ketchup.
Okay, I'm going to get you a little bit of salt.
bit of
I've never had pesto on a burger, I don't think
I
I
know, wait for
Just
it.
a big
Here we go.
ketchup gal, yeah.
You're in for a
Anything
treat.
French.
You're getting basil pesto, our famous
the
basil
ground.
Yes.
pesto.
bit of
Okay,
salad
so,
for you.
right,
Oh my
what do
God,
I have?
sorry.
What does Erica have?
Okay, so you have a beetroot burger.
Yeah.
With sun-dried tomato pesto, some vegan mayo, some gherkins, red onions, and some lettuce.
Stunning.
And voila, and a little bit of rainbow salad inside.
Oh my God,
And it's beautiful, like it's real, like it's fully plant-based, there's a lot of fibre, a lot of diversity, and just tasty food.
It looks
Great
amazing.
food. Just 10s across the board from me.
Yeah.
Woo! Haven't even tasted it yet.
I love all those colours.
Okay, there we go. Onion.
Go in,
onion,
go
yes.
for it, girl.
Yes, onion,
Absolutely.
okay, great, lovely.
Okay,
I
by
love
the way,
it.
we can look
But-
forward to new music from you for the summertime, some summer bops.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
By the end of the
That's what
summer.
we need.
There'll be some music.
Oh,
out
there's
for us
going to
have
be a
bop.
summer bop, and we'll have some lovely salads to go with us.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
you're happy. You're happy with that?
This is great, guys.
They're really
Great
good.
taste.
They're all on special $2.50 at the moment in Soup Valley, so do check them out. They're great. They genuinely are.
They never miss a trick. These boys absolutely don't miss a trick. That's all we got time for tonight. Huge thanks to our guests, to Aslan, Erica-Cody, Michelle Gallen, and to Dave and Steve, the Happy Pear for dinner.
Join us back here tomorrow from 6. And remember, This Is For Ukraine documentaries on tonight at 9 p.m. on Virgin Media 1. Do not miss it.
And we're leaving you now with Aslan singing us out with their charity single, This Is, which has gone to #1. Woo! Yes. Aslan.
These are the hands of a tired man. This is the old man's shroud. These are the eyes of a blood-crazed tiger staring at the maddening crowd. This is the face of a teenage mother. This is the child she bears. This is the soul of her broken lover, searching for the smiles they share. These are the feet of a punished pilgrim, and in his book of punished love, you see his eyes, you see no surprise, waiting for the light that's true. Whoa, everybody hits you with this feeling. Nobody seems to understand. You stop, you look, you're searching for the meaning of love. Wasting your life away. These are the dreams of a sleeping father, and in his long lost days, he sees a child, sees his eyes, waiting for the price he's paid. These are the tears of a fallen idol, and in his smile of shattered love, see his eyes, see no surprise. You just see lights and realize everybody hits you with this feeling. Nobody seems to understand. You stop, you look, you're searching for the meaning of love. Wasting your life away. Oh, here with you, there's no one here like you. Everybody knocks you down, and no one moves like you. Nobody touches like you. Everybody knocks you down. Ooh, and you. Everybody knocks you down. And nobody moves like you. But everybody hits you. Everybody knocks you down. These are the feet of a punished pilgrim, and to this book he prays. You see his eyes, see no surprise. You just see light and realize everybody hits you, everybody
Everybody hits you. Everybody knocks you down.
Everybody hits you. Everybody knocks you. Everybody hits you. Everybody knocks you down.